Some children are not praised like the golden child or blamed like the scapegoat. They are simply overlooked, and that wound can last for decades. Psychology does not treat ignored child as a formal diagnosis like depression or anxiety, but the underlying pattern is very real. Family systems and clinical work often call this person the invisible child, meaning a child who was emotionally present but rarely truly seen. Research on emotional neglect shows later harm can be serious even when there was no dramatic shouting or obvious cruelty. In one long study of nearly 700 children, a small group who felt their parents were almost always emotionally neglectful had more than twice the odds of psychiatric disorder by age 15. That study measured the children's own perceptions, and that matters because feeling unseen is itself a major developmental event. The first common sign in adulthood is trouble identifying your own needs, because ignored children often learned everyone else's needs first. They can read the room quickly, notice tension quickly, and still go blank when someone asks, "What do you want?" The second sign is people-pleasing that feels moral, almost like a duty, because usefulness may have been the safest route to attention. Adult caretaking, overfunctioning, and managing everybody's emotions can look like personality when it was first a survival skill. The third sign is low-grade shame without a clear story, because ignored children were often not openly insulted. Instead, they absorbed a quieter message from absence. If my feelings were not noticed, maybe I do not matter that much. The fourth sign is over-independence and trouble asking for help, because many neglected children learned that reaching out changed very little. As adults, they may feel proud of never needing anyone while also carrying deep loneliness that stays mostly hidden. The fifth sign is relationship confusion, because emotional neglect can create two opposite-looking patterns that come from the same injury. Some adults pull away the moment closeness feels real, while others over-accommodate and stay too long out of abandonment fear. The sixth sign is perfectionism or overperformance, especially when childhood visibility appeared only through achievement or causing no trouble. Research is stronger on trauma and maladaptive perfectionism generally than on one single invisible child profile, but the link fits clinical reality. The seventh and deepest sign is a chronic sense of invisibility, where work groups, families, and friendships can make the person feel strangely forgettable. They may go quiet and accept it, or they may overcompensate through extreme competence just to avoid disappearing again. This pattern differs from the golden child, whose identity gets built around family pride, performance, and conditional overvaluation. It also differs from the scapegoat, who becomes the visible carrier of blame and conflict inside the family system. The ignored child can look like the lucky one from the outside, because fewer open fights seem safer. But often that child received the least mirroring, the least emotional defense, and the least real help in building an inner self. Adult outcomes linked to emotional neglect can include anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, emotional detachment, codependency, and substance misuse. Some people only discover the pattern when marriage, parenting, or heavy work stress suddenly reveals how little emotional scaffolding they got in childhood. Healing often starts with one accurate sentence: not nothing happened, and not always dramatic abuse. But essential attunement did not happen enough. Helpful repair can include emotion labeling practice, boundary work, trauma-informed therapy, self-compassion training, and relationships where no performance is required. The goal is not becoming loud for show. The goal is learning that your inner life counts even when nobody else is ignoring it. If this invisible child pattern felt familiar, watch the next psychology documentary on this channel for the next step.